we start in Beijing, where the annual sessions of China's national legislature and its top advisory body are both underway. On Wednesday, an annual economic growth target of around 5% was unveiled at the opening of the 14th National People's Congress. For more now, and in terms of what's been discussed and the sessions in general, I'm joined by Einar Tangen. He's a senior fellow at the Taihe Institute and founder of the Asia Narratives Substack publication. Good to see you, Einar. Thanks for joining us. We had a nice, well-rounded wrap there by Sean. What stood out to you in terms of how the government work report presented itself?
Well, I'm going to echo what Sean said. The fact that you have so much drama, an incredible soap opera going on in the United States, everything from Zelensky to this rah-rah joint sessions speech, versus no drama in China. It was very sober, very realistic, very confident. China is sending a very strong message externally that it is like a rock in the, that will not be swayed by the elements. And that's the same one internally. They want to make sure that the people of China are aware that China has been progressing, and I think with DeepSeek and the new blockbuster movie and the blockbuster video game, people are much more confident. They have a sense that China is able to deal with whatever it's thrown at it and can survive and thrive.
Premier Li Qiang emphasised an economic growth target of around 5% for 2025. What do you see as the major driving factors for that kind of growth?
Well, I mean, they've listed a whole bunch of things. We wouldn't have time to go through all of them, but it really what it is this dual circulation plan. What they want to do is grow the domestic economy through consumption and then have that used as a carrot for foreign investment. And they're looking at all sorts of areas. They acknowledged a lot of their weaknesses in terms of local government debt, the real estate industry, jobs, etc. But they have a specific plan for each one. I say specific goal, I should say. The specific plans will come out later. But it shows that China is just, as Sean's saying, taking a very methodical approach to governance, and very, very different right now from what's happening in the United States.
You mentioned the focus on domestic consumption. Can you talk a little bit about the measures that are being implemented to encourage consumer spending and how effective they might be?
Okay, right now, for instance, they're going to put $300 billion towards this, getting people to buy new appliances and perhaps cars and things like that. These are subsidies for turning in your old older washing machine and buying a new one, and this helps. But this is simply priming it. You have to remember that there was over 5% increase in disposable income in 2025 alone. In 2024, I should say, 2023, it was 6% increase. You compare that to countries around the world and you'd be astounded. They're at much lower rates, if at all. And what they need to do is prime the pump. 45% of all wages last year that were earned were actually saved. So the money is there. It's just a question of confidence. And that's why you see this continued message that China is ready for anything.
Housing and the real estate industry has been sluggish over the years. How is China addressing those challenges in terms of the property sector?
Okay, the property sector is very important. It's been as much as 25% of the economy. But here's the problem. Houses were being used as investments. So there are lots of people who needed a house and a lot of empty houses that were bought simply because they thought that they would appreciate. That pushed the price of housing too high. That means it was unattainable for a lot of people to have home ownership. The government said, look, we have to balance this. We want to keep the real estate industry going. We need the construction industry, but we need to have the prices of real estate be somewhat realistic. So what they've embarked on is trying to keep the real estate market stable. They don't want the prices to go down, but they don't want them to go up high. What they're counting on is that inflation and disposable income will eventually erode the difference between what people can pay and the prices that are currently there.
Now, China plans to boost investments in science and technology by 10%. Which sectors do you think are likely to benefit most, and how could this influence global tech competition?
Well, China is doing a lot more on basic science. They're trying to encourage the breakthroughs that you witness here, whether it's this kind of hive mind where you, instead of having just one smart entity, that entity is connected to other entities which allow it to be much more intelligent. It has sensors and can recognize things, so you don't have to train one computer to do everything. You have millions of computers that are contributing to the knowledge base. You have areas of quantum mechanics, communications, things that can not only be breakthroughs, but can add to the efficiency of the Chinese economy. So much of the things that we're talking about, AI, these are wonderful. But just asking your questions isn't going to lead to revenues. What they have to do is you have to have programs that can actually take AI and harness it, reduce labor costs, increase efficiency. This will benefit society. There will be changes in terms of jobs, but we have seen in the past that new breakthroughs create new opportunities through increased efficiency and productivity.
All right, Einar Tangen, really appreciate your time.
Anytime. Thank you, Sally.